coming up on Focal Point.
East Lansing's own Eastside Fish Fry is gaining national recognition. Find out why coming up on Focal Point.
Okay, women, are you with me? Heading into those public restrooms can be an adventure, right? Well, some welcome news may be coming to some East Lansing women's restrooms soon.
I think one of the reasons that it took so long is that people don't like to talk about periods.
The southbound Okemos Bridge is closing to be rebuilt. Commuters who use the bridge will have to take detours. More on the story coming up.
You might have noticed more students than usual at the CATA bus stops, but why is that? Stick with us and you'll find out.
Focal Point starts now.
Good morning. I'm Maisha Johnson.
And I'm Lance Limbo. Welcome to Focal Point. Today's February 15th, 2022. It took its time getting here, but the National Weather Service was right. Michigan's second big snowfall in the last 10 days came just after the evening rush hour.
That's right, Lance. It snowed most of the night, making roads treacherous. Focal Point's Ian Gilmore is live this morning, braving the cold and the snow, and he has the details. Ian?
Yeah, thanks, Maisha. Good morning. Looks awfully nice and warm inside that studio. Not too bad actually out here with the sun out and no wind. Usually at this time of day at East Lansing High School, this parking lot filled with hundreds of cars of students because, well, it's the middle of the school day. But because of weather conditions last night and early this morning, snow days galore across mid-Michigan. That includes for all of East Lansing public schools. Like you said, the snow started coming down when it was still light outside, just a little bit after rush hour. Magic Johnson was trying to get the snow to go in a different direction. To know of, started coming down after rush hour, and then as we got later on into the evening and as things got darker, that is when the roads got a little bit tricky. We saw that once people were at home, they weren't really going back out at night. Even Grand River pretty devoid of traffic right around the 9 o'clock p.m. hour last night. Now back out here midday Friday, most of the main roads have been cleared pretty well. Total snowfall, while the sun has been wiping the snow off of this car that was left here overnight. Only about 2 inches left on this car, but the official count was 4.3 inches in Lansing. Some parts of mid-Michigan got all the way up to 7 inches. Now the good news is this: we don't expect another snowfall, and definitely not one like this, until at least next week Friday, and temperatures should be back up into the 40s as early as this coming Sunday. Now Maisha, I have a date with a snow angel in about a minute, so I'm gonna have to let you go. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ian. I really want to get like you right now. I don't know if you rely on the bus to get around campus, Lance, but I barely made it to the anchor desk this morning, and it wasn't because of the snow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Maisha, it's been a problem for students for months, and there might not be any relief for a while. 50,000 students rely on the bus as their mode of transportation.
But what happens when bus services get delayed? Focal Point's McCoy Scribner is live on campus to tell us more. McCoy?
Hey, thanks guys. I'm live at the bus stop right now where there are some buses here, but not as much as usual. Last month, Capital Area Transportation Authority, or CATA as you all know it, said to keep expecting buses to arrive late or not show up at all. This gave students time to sit and think while at the bus stop, and they've been wondering, what's the driving factor behind it all? Winter in Michigan. Snow and cold. The time when Michigan State students leave their bikes and scooters and take the bus. Or
walk sign is on the cross.
Walk.
It's been a lot of walking.
Walking instead of riding. It's better than waiting
30 minutes.
Half hour.
45 minutes.
Students have been dealing with bad bus service for about a month. Now the Capital Area Transportation Authority says it might not get better until March 6th.
Right now I'm waiting for the bus. That's a few minutes late.
And the buses need drivers. Chief Executive Officer Bradley Funkhauser says, like every other employer in the region, CATA also faces staffing shortages. This has been widely reported by national, state, and local media and is not unique to CATA. And what's also familiar to CATA is Chris Taylor. He's been a bus driver for approximately 3 years, and he says they've lost upwards of 70 drivers in the last year because of management.
Bottom line is a lot of drivers have left. They've had a hard time hiring new drivers because they can't raise wages at all.
Taylor says sometimes drivers work 13 hours a day and, at times, receive only 8 hours between 2 shifts. He adds that the workers need a fair contract that they can vote in.
Management decided to not give us a contract, and we have a federal case in court unfair labor practice that we're waiting to hear back from.
Getting a new contract is what drives him.
We need to finish this contract, sign it, and push on so we can keep CATA the great organization that it has been for 50 years now.
For students, they hope to get to class on time and stay warm in the process.
I hope that this community can come together and just, fix this problem it's affecting a lot of people.
Funkhauser says that ongoing conversations with their union have led to the potential increase for service across campus or on key routes based on new driving class after spring break. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to catch a bus out of here, so I'll send it back to you guys in the studio. Live from the CATA bus station on Shaw Lane, I'm McCoy Scribner, Focal Point News.
Even though there's a CATA bus shortage, there is some good news for Michigan State students, and that is free parking. Earlier this month, University Police announced that free parking at pay-by-play and metered spaces will continue through March 13th. The announcement comes as CATA continues to struggle with severe staffing shortages caused by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
A lot of people have been appreciative of this effort, knowing that it is tough not having staffing at full staff with CATA and just doing the best we can.
You can find more information on current parking restrictions across campus at police.msu.edu.
The MSU Police Department is mourning the loss of the first female police chief. Kelly Rodebush died last week after a battle with breast cancer. She graduated from MSU with a Bachelor of Arts and then joined the force in 1994. She was police chief from January 2019 to July 2020. She then took a medical leave due to her diagnosis.
At this point, I think there's, the grieving is there. At some point, there will be transition into the celebration of her and what she meant.
President Stanley and other MSU police say Rodebush will be remembered for her legacy of courage, hard work, and commitment.
If you're driving from Interstate 96 on Okemos North, there's only one real good way to travel through this town, on Okemos Road. Say goodbye to that for the next 6 months. It is all due to a 100-year-old bridge. Elena Rabin has the story.
Red Cedar. People use this bridge to get to work, school, or home. But soon drivers will have to use a detour, as this bridge will be getting a new model.
Most of the road work is going to happen this year. So as starting today, February 14th, we're shutting down the southbound Okemos Road Bridge.
An $8.75 million project funded by the state of Michigan and their Department of Transportation. The two-structure bridge will be replaced with a 5-lane single structure.
All bridges in Michigan over 20 feet have to be inspected.
Burns said the 98-year-old bridge is narrow for today's standards, and deficiencies were found during inspection. Improvements will be made so that the bridge can hold the weight of the legal loads allowed for drivers. A project like this will take some time.
But in November, that's a wow.
MSU student Robert Hurst says the bridge closure is only a minor inconvenience.
I have to take an alternative route around where I usually take, so it adds about another, I'd probably say maybe 8 to 9 minutes to my route that it shouldn't.
Traffic going northbound on the other side of this bridge will be redirected to Dobie and Jolly roads as well as Grand River. So what does this mean for traffic during busy times of the day?
There's likely to be traffic delays. Generally the first week or two it causes the most chaos.
In addition to the Green Arch pedestrian bridge, new walkways will be added to the east side. So the next time you're crossing the Red Cedar,
I am happy that they are making it safer for us and everything.
Take it slow and plan ahead. In Okemos, I'm Elena Rabin, Focal Point News.
While Black History Month may be halfway over, there's still time to check out some local events.
And MSU students have a new place to eat lunch on campus. We'll show you where after the break.
Right now, you're looking at a live shot of East Lansing High School, where it looks like we got about 5 to 6 inches of snow overnight. Bria Crawford will tell us what we should expect for weather this weekend after the break.
Black History Month to me means we should focus on futurism and progress and also recognition. A lot of times Black history is seen as slavery, starting at slavery, ending with slavery, and there's like a lot of trauma behind that, and we shouldn't really be celebrating that. I think that this Black History Month, rather than talking about slave narratives or slavery in the United States, we should focus on Black futurism. I think that particularly white people in the United States could probably at times benefit from talking less and listening more. Listen to your Black friends, listen to Black people who aren't your friends. This month is about visibility, this month is about recognition. This month, let's take some time to focus on futurism and educating ourselves and just make sure to love each other.
Welcome back to Focal Point. We've clearly seen some crazy weather the past few days, but should we be prepared for more? Bria Crawford is live at the Weather Wall. Bria, how is it looking?
Well, Maisha, it looks like we might catch a break from all the snow in the next few days. So, overnight, the National Weather Service says mid-Michigan received anywhere from 4.3 inches in Lansing officially to about 6 where Ian Gilmore was standing in East Lansing a little earlier. So on the national map, let's take a look. Sunny Los Angeles coming in at 68 degrees as of 11 a.m. Denver just had a snowstorm as well, so they're sitting at 39. If we move a little bit to the east, Chicago is at a chilly 22. But let's go down south to Miami. Look at that, 80. Spring break, are you here yet? I wish. Let's look a little bit closer to home on the regional map. Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Detroit all will not make it above freezing today. Indianapolis is going to join that club as well, sitting at 18 degrees. Current conditions around here, partly cloudy and 12 wonderful degrees in East Lansing, 14 in Grand Rapids, sunny and 13 in Detroit, and Mount Pleasant is at 13 degrees. Let's take a look at our 7-day where we will rebound on Sunday, reach a high of 46, and then another system comes through Monday and Tuesday, and we'll finish with 33 and 30. That's a look at our 7-day forecast. Lance, back to you.
Some local educators and artists are teaching area children about Black excellence. Throughout the month of February, the Capital Area District Libraries will be hosting the Black History Month Storytime Series. This past Saturday, artist, author, and illustrator Julian Van Dyke reads his children's stories at the South Lansing Library. Parents and their children participated in a group reading, played historical games, and took an autographed book home.
I like reading. My son likes reading. He loves to be read to, and he loves fun stories.
It's very important for our young people to read.
For more information on the Black History Month Storytime Series, you can visit cadl.org/events.
Socialite Society is a bookstore that caters to celebrating Black women and Black literature. Owner Nichelle Lawrence was inspired to open Socialite Society because of the lack of representation of Black women in traditional bookstores. Socialite Society curates classic, contemporary, and children's books primarily authored by Black women.
I personally think it's amazing to have a space where Black women can come in, they can see themselves in the products and know that it's a space that's curated specifically for them.
Socialite Society is located inside of Lansing Mall and is open Tuesday through Saturday. To learn more about Socialite Society, visit their website at socialitesociety.com.
It's long been an inconvenience for women, public restrooms that don't provide any sanitary products. Now, East Lansing finally has you covered. Kwaku Cheney has more.
In East Lansing and around the United States, bathroom necessities like toilet paper, soap, and paper towels are free and readily available in public bathrooms. But what about feminine products? Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer recently signed a bill to get rid of the 6% tax on tampons, pads, and other feminine hygiene products. The city of East Lansing approved an ordinance to make these products free in all city buildings. Why has this taken so long?
I think one of the reasons that it took so long is that people don't like to talk about periods. It's always been a stigmatized conversation.
In bathrooms across the U.S., essential items like toilet paper, soap, and paper towels are readily available. Meanwhile, whenever it was that time of the month, menstrual products were not.
Already when products are so expensive in the first place, and like that really adds up over a woman's lifetime, like how much money she's wasting.
This concept may be viewed by some as...
I'm sorry, I can't even think of the word.
Oh, no, it'll all be in there.
What do you call it? It's unequal.
I'm here outside the East Lansing City Council office, where on Tuesday, they decided to approve the ordinance to make all menstrual products free in city bathrooms. Women in East Lansing can now celebrate this broken barrier and cheer on other cities that are trying to achieve the same thing.
Now that this ordinance has been approved in East Lansing, we're going to move to Lansing and see if we can get them to file a similar ordinance. And then really what we need to do is get free products in schools.
For Focal Point News, I'm Kwaku Achini.
Kwaku tells us all city-owned buildings will provide menstrual products.
For students who are looking for an alternative dining option, look no further to the Stateroom Restaurant. The university has opened the Stateroom for lunch to students. A self-serve lunch buffet includes many options like Caesar wraps, salads, fruit, and dessert. The Stateroom provides a relaxed experience different than your regular dining hall. It's a place to wind down when school starts to get stressful.
Different kind of environment. It's quieter. We don't have TVs, so it's really a time that you can unplug and just take a mental break.
The Stateroom self-serve lunch buffet is open Tuesdays through Fridays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Kellogg Center. A new business in the heart of downtown Lansing is providing a creative space for artists. Focal Point's Nyla Hollins is standing by the newsroom for this week's entertainment report. Nyla?
Business mixing with art is nothing new. Think Kanye West, Rihanna, and Jay-Z. Each made millions in their businesses and their records. And a little closer to home, we have Risky Studios, a new East Lansing business where entrepreneurship and art collide. Inside this door, if you can imagine it, you can create it.
This is where I work. We want to build this community, and we want to make sure that all creatives have, an opportunity to create.
It's a dream come true for Joshua Southern and his wife Alicia. Risky Studios just opened in East Lansing, where creators can rent the space and record music, make podcasts, and shoot photography.
Certain things can be kind of stuffy and corporate, and this is a completely different vibe. There wasn't a space like this.
Joshua produces for a living, but he wanted to do something for creatives. He wanted to give them space.
Just bet on yourself and start somewhere. Start with a business plan, or just start creating whatever it is that you create.
To book with Risky Studios, go to their website, riskystudiolansing.com. For all the creatives out there, and even if you're not, check out Risky Studios for their grand opening on Thursday, February 24th. That's all we have for entertainment this week. I'm Nyla Hollins. Maisha, back to you.
Thanks, Nyla. Thank you. A local restaurant is frying up big fish on a major television network. Coming up on Focal Point, we will take you live to Lansing for an inside look on why this place is off the hook. And at MSU Gymnastics meet break school records. Nathan Stearns will have highlights. That's next in sports. Stay with us.
Life hasn't been the same since COVID. We all know that. The pandemic has affected each of our lives differently. Some have lost loved ones. Some have lost their jobs. Some have lost out on important milestones like graduation. Some really adds up to most. Most of us have been affected in some way with this pandemic. Stop the spread and mask up.
Mask up so I can travel. Mask up so I can go to tailgates. Mask up so I can go to concerts.
Mask up so I can see my family.
Mask up so we can live again.
Welcome back to Focal Point. I'm Nathan Stearns with the latest in sports. Exciting news for MSU gymnastics this week. The team posted a new program record for team total against Illinois this past Sunday. The Spartans earned a score of 197.425 and also set records on beam and on floor. Individually, Gabby Stevens was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week for her all-around score of 39.450. Delaney Harkness was named Big Ten Specialist of the Week after her score of 9.925 on floor versus Illinois. And head coach Mike Rowe couldn't keep the smile off his face after the big day.
At the beginning of the day today, I was like, you guys we have to stop trying for the 197 and, just do what you do every single day. Don't worry about anything else except the little details and that we worked so hard on, and it'll come. And that's what happened.
Now let's go to the hardwood. MSU, coming off a win versus Indiana on Saturday, traveled to Penn State Tuesday. Starting the first half, Julius Marlborough gets to work early in the paint, pivots, and sinks the hook shot to give MSU a 7-point lead. Second half now, Gabe Brown pulls up from 3 to make it 32-24 for MSU. They led by as much as 14, but the tide turned quickly for Penn State as Seth Lundy hit the nasty crossover in the long-range jumper to grab the go-ahead bucket. Lundy finished with a game-high 17 points, and Penn State sealed the 62-58 win.
And we are making some progress. We just can't sustain it. And that is going to be what the end of the year is for.
Knocking down her open shot. Matilda Eck pass up.
Now to the women's side of things. Let's start in the first quarter. The teams traded baskets to start the game. Here, Matilda Eck drives to her left, draws another Wisconsin defender, and dishes it out to Alicia Smith for the easy 2. The game stayed tight throughout the first half, but Wisconsin's Haley Douglas hit a corner 3 off an assist from Tamara Stoffacher to go up 5 at halftime. MSU opened the second half with a corner 3 of their own from Matilda Eck, with the assist from Nia Clouden. The game remained close through the third quarter, but MSU pulled away in the fourth quarter, having the largest lead of the game at 13 points. MSU went on to win 74-67.
And I thought our second half was much better. I mean, they came out with great energy. We were trying to turn things up a little bit. We couldn't press, but we were trying to do some things in the quarter court defensively to get them out of a rhythm.
With the win, the Spartans improved to 8-6 in the Big Ten. They played Penn State on Monday at the Breslin Center. The MSU softball season has hardly begun, but Ashley Miller made history on Sunday. The pitcher tossed the first perfect game for MSU since 2007 and the first ever in a 7-inning game. They went 3-2 in the first weekend of their season last week. They play 5 more games this week, starting tonight versus Jacksonville. The baseball team opens their season this weekend on the west side of the country. They take on UNLV. First pitch is set for 9:05. The struggles for the MSU hockey team continued last week. They lost on Friday against Michigan. On Saturday, they played Michigan again, but this time at Little Caesars Arena for the annual Duel in the D tournament. They lost that one 6-2. Head coach Danton Cole knows he's got problems he has to fix.
We need to kind of stick with some things, identify some stuff, and keep grinding on it. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. You got to find confidence, and you got to find some way to keep battling through.
MSU hosts Notre Dame this weekend at Mount Ice Arena. Puck drop in Game 1 is tonight at 7.
A local restaurant is being featured on one of Food Network's most popular shows. But it's not just the food that makes this place special. Asia Lawrence is live at the restaurant for today's Focal Point finale. Asia?
That's right, Maisha. It's not common for just any restaurant to be featured on the Food Network, but it's even less common to be featured twice. And that's exactly what Eastside Fish Fry did. Take a look while I order my lunch.
Henry Meyer works hard.
Super Bowl was just absolutely insane. We sold like 16,000 chicken wings in one day. It's just unreal.
but it's his life's work.
It changed my life. It changed a lot of people's here lives.
Henry owns Eastside Fish Fry.
In 2017, Eastside Fish Fry was featured on the Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. The restaurant's chicken and seafood won over the stomachs of many, but the way they won over the hearts of the Lansing and East Lansing community was with their story.
He doesn't call these employees workers. He calls them family. Like Michael.
Just getting to work together, being a team, that's the best feeling.
And if it wasn't for Henry, many members of this family probably wouldn't have jobs.
When they see me saying, hey, we're hiring, and we hire 4 people, and 3 of them are felons, they see that I'm not just talking about it. I'm being about it.
Most of the time, Henry is their lifeline. He knows how hard it is for people with records to get work because he's been there.
2009, I got arrested by the federal government for marijuana, and I went to prison for like 3 years.
Since being released, it has become his mission to provide opportunities and stability to felons who just want a chance. And it seems that good things come to good people. 5 years after being featured on the Food Network for the first time, Henry has done it again.
There's not even really anything that can explain, like what that did to us and what that did for my family and, my people here.
One of Lansing's best kept secrets isn't much of a secret anymore. And that's just fine with Henry Meyer.
You can visit the Eastside Fish Fry family 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays and 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. on weekends. I'm Asia Lawrence, live in Lansing. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Asia. I didn't know Eastside Fish Fry has such a powerful story. I love their food. Have you been before, Lance?
Man, that's actually kind of funny because I actually had some cracked chicken last night. That's it for this week's edition of Focal Point. I'm Lance Limbo.
And I'm Aisha Johnson. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.